Hello friends. This video is brought to you by mywayteaching.com.
Quadratic equations. In this chapter, we shall start by introduction of quadratic equations. Then we shall learn to find the solution of quadratic equation by factorization method. Then we shall learn to find the solution of quadratic equation by completing the square. Finally, we will discuss the nature of roots of the quadratic equation. Quadratic equations. We have studied different types of polynomials. A polynomial of degree 2 is called a quadratic polynomial. When we equate this polynomial equal to 0, we get a quadratic equation. In other words, a quadratic equation in variable x is an equation of the form ax square plus bx plus c, where a, b and c are real numbers and a cannot be 0. For example, 2x square plus 3x minus 5 equal to 0 is an example of quadratic equation. We can also say that any equation of the form px equal to 0, where px is a polynomial of degree 2, is a quadratic equation. But when we write the terms of px in descending order of their degrees, then we get the standard form of the equation. To understand this point, consider equation 4x minus 3x square plus 2 equal to 0. Although this is also a quadratic equation, but the terms of px are not in the descending order of their degrees. If we rewrite this as minus 3x square plus 4x plus 2 equal to 0, then we get the terms of px in the descending order of their degrees, and it is said to be in standard form of the quadratic equation. That is ax square plus bx plus c equal to 0, such that a is not equal to 0, is called standard form of quadratic equation. Let us read the question. Represent the following situations mathematically. First situation is, John and Jivanti together have 45 marbles. Both of them lost 5 marbles each, and the product of the number of marbles they now have is 124. We would like to find out how many marbles they had to start with. Let us start by assuming the number of marbles that John had be x. Now it is given in the question that John and Jivanti together have 45 marbles. That means the number of marbles Jivanti will have will be 45 minus x. Now read the question further. Both of them lost 5 marbles each. So the number of marbles left with John after he lost 5 marbles will be x minus 5. And the number of marbles left with Jivanti after loss of 5 marbles will be 45 minus x is what he had minus 5. This gives us 40 minus x. Further in the question it is given that the product of number of marbles they now have, that is after loss of 5 marbles each, is 124. That means x minus 5 into 40 minus x is equal to 124. Let us solve this further. We multiply x with 40. To open the brackets, we get 40x. X with minus x gives minus x square. Now minus 5 into 40 gives us minus 200. Minus 5 minus x gives plus 5x equal to 124. Let us solve this further and put it in standard form. We get minus x square plus 45x minus 200 equal to 124, or minus x square plus 45x minus 324 equal to 0. Therefore, the number of marbles John had, that is x, satisfies this quadratic equation, and this is the required representation of the problem mathematically. Further in this chapter, we will discuss to find the value of x. Right now, we just had to give the representation of the problem mathematically. Let us read the second part of the same question. We have to represent the following situation in mathematics. A cottage industry produces a certain number of toys in a day. The cost of production of each toy in rupees was found to be 55 minus the number of toys produced in a day. On a particular day, the total cost of production was rupees 750. We would like to find out the number of toys produced on that day. We start with the assumption that let the number of toys produced on that particular day be x. Now, in the question it is given the cost of production of each toy in rupees was found to be 55 minus the number of toys produced in a day. Now, on this particular day, we are producing x number of toys, and the cost of production of each toy on this particular day will be 55 minus x. That means the total cost of production of x toys will be rupees x into 55 minus x, which is also given equal to rupees 750. That is x into 55 minus x equal to 750. Let us solve this further. Open the bracket. We get 55x minus x square equal to 750, or minus x square plus 55x minus 750 equal to 0. Now, this equation is the mathematical representation of the problem, and the number of toys on that particular day satisfies this condition.